90 Day Fiancé star Greg Chilek hails from Islip Terrace, New York, and he's writing for a fall, unwilling to see the truth, which is the fact that his partner, Joan Khrushchev, is out for money rather than love. His mother, Lucille Chilek, doesn't like what she sees. In fact, dowry arguments may harm the relationship. Ugandan Joan has shown so many red flags so far, criticizing Lucille, who's quite a nice woman, for spending too much time in her own home. It was weird when Greg confronted Joan about the way she treated Lucille. Joan said she was testing his mother to see how far she could push things before the other woman reacted. That's kind of a sick game, and maybe it's not even true. It's possible that Joan just got very real with the older woman, crossing a line, and then tried to cover her tracks. It would almost be better if she was lying about testing his mother, because that's very low conduct. Joan's always treated Lucille with kindness and respect. The rudeness was so extreme that it seemed like a deal breaker, at least for Joan and Lucille's relationship. That's too bad, as, unlike some 90 Day Fiancé monsters-in-law, including Debbie Johnson, Lucille made an effort with Joan. Lucille complimented her on her work ethic in the home. She didn't just paint her as a gold digger, which, sadly, she might actually be. It's too soon to call, but Joan can be so harsh with her partner. She called Greg lazy, and Lucille, it just doesn't feel like she loves Greg, and she resents his mother. The dowry is $3,000. That's not a great deal of money, but it's enough to create stress for Greg, who reportedly scraped together $5,000 for their wedding. That's not a lot of cash to pay for a wedding in America. It seems like Lucille is the one paying for most things. In the season, he's been looking for work but hasn't found a job yet, although he had an interview. The dowry is a tricky issue. It's tradition in her native country. Paying a dowry is a way that a man proves to his fiancé's family that he has enough money to support her. That information was shared by Joan during a recent episode. She says that Greg must pay the dowry, he can't get out it and still marry her. Lucille, raised with a different set of traditions, obviously thinks that the dowry requirement is out of line, perhaps because Greg's already paying Joan's way. He's trying to earn money because he knows this relationship is going to cost money. Lucille will probably need to pay for everything he can't cover himself, including the dowry, while she opens her home to this woman, who is almost a stranger, and spends time with her. Lucille feels disrespected. She was wounded by someone she liked, and now, she must reassess that relationship. If Joan had kept her feelings to herself, it would have been better for everyone. Now, the future mother-in-law must plan, and probably pay for, a wedding between her beloved son and a woman who doesn't like her. This is cruel punishment for the woman who welcomed Joan and even praised her on camera. For now, everyone is stuck together, and the dynamic that's been created is something everyone has to live with. But it's not the end of the world. It's just another complication. The problem with these complications is that they can snowball. They can morph into real problems that lead to splits. People who don't think before they speak often regret it later. Some might compare Debbie, Colt Johnson's mother, to Lucille. But really, if both women were treated more respectfully by their sons' partners, everything might have been different. Ultimately, like Colt and Larissa Lima's romance, Joan's relationship with Greg seemed destined to end. It's not just mother-in-law issues. Yes, the younger women being nicer might help, but there's the same nasty undercurrent in both romances, women who seem too mercenary, too cold, and too condescending. When one person asks the other to change right off the bat, it's just such a bad sign. It's only when two people appreciate one another that love can last. There needs to be a foundation of adoration. In July 2025, there are pregnancy rumors about the duo. As per the 90 Day Fiancé breaking news, with Joan, everything is so matter of fact. In her eyes, Greg needs to do this, and he needs to do that. To get love, he has to follow her rules. She thinks he's lazy, and he needs to give her money, and so on and so on. Maybe Joan does love Greg, but the way she expresses herself tells a different story. He seems like a means to an end, and although he's not so charismatic, no one deserves to be used. With any luck, she has some sincere affection for her partner. Otherwise, he is in for it. He's put his faith in a woman from another country, hoping that their union won't become another tired 90DF cliché. However, others have taken the same leaps of faith and ended up crushed and humiliated. So, Greg may need to deal with heartbreak soon enough. Some part of him knows what's up, he just hasn't completely wrapped his head around it. He needs more time. He will keep giving Joan chances until he can't anymore. Maybe she will surprise everyone, but it seems obvious that she's not a soft, sweet woman who's devoted to Greg. She is someone with an agenda, and the sooner he figures this out, the better. Then, The 90-day fiancé can protect himself.